Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Brittany, and this is Brittany Empowers. So, essentially, this YouTube video, or long form rather, YouTube video, has been a long time coming. I should have released this a long time ago, but for some reason, I'm now just doing it. But no worries, I will keep producing videos and we'll just take on this journey together. Thank you for being here. Please remember to subscribe. Please remember to like this video. And yeah, let's jump right into it. So, just a brief introduction. Nothing too hefty, nothing too fancy. I'm Brittany and I'm from the best parish in Jamaica, St. Anne, Steertown to be exact. Yep. And I came to Canada in August of 2024. Now, the first question we're going to answer now is, why did I leave Jamaica? And for me, that answer is easy. I left Jamaica because I had a desire to live overseas, and that's just it for me. Um, at the time, too, I think working in the space that I was working at, it was getting pretty chaotic and mentally taxing, to be honest. And I just wanted a new scenery. I know that I could have left and work at another pharmacy, which I eventually had done. But overall, I think the goal for me was just to somewhere else, just to leave Jamaica. As it relates to how did I get here in Canada, that question, no. So initially, I had applied for school like a year before I came to Canada. Yeah, I had applied for school, but I got denied, and that's okay. I got denied. It was rough at the time, to be honest, because I was saying I feel like on paper everything is, have it stocked on paper. So why deny me? But I got denied, and so I didn't know how I was gonna get to Canada. But I then submitted an application to be in the pool, the CRS pool. And so while being there waiting for my score to be selected, I got an invitation from the province of Ontario to apply to be for PMP. PMP is basically like a provincial nomination just because of my profession, because like in Jamaica I worked as a pharmacist, and so yeah, I got that nomination, and essentially I came to Canada as a PR. And so that in itself, was a blessing, and we continue to big up God for that. Flash forward now to like a year after landing here in Canada. So, well, let's go back to before coming to Canada. So, learning now that I was going to make the move to Canada, I, because of my profession, it's a regulated one, and in essence, you have to do a series of board exams before you can work as a pharmacist. And so it was my desire to at least clear a couple of the exams before coming, and so that's what I did. I tried to do really. And so I did the first exam, which I was successful, and so that gave me more confidence and made me happier to say that, okay, yeah man, this is going to happen, and we're going to get this. But essentially I did not landing in Canada, I wasn't able to clear all the exams before coming here. And so, of course, I had to get a job. And so, let's talk about the job market at that time in 2024 when I came. Chaotic. I have a straight face. Chaotic. It was horrible. It was horrible. And but nonetheless, I was able to get a job in the first month of being here. Not the job as I wanted, but I got a job, and I thank God for that. But it was harder than I thought, to be honest. I believe that, I have my qualifications. I'm coming here, with my degree in pharmacy. Like, it shouldn't be hard to get a job. It was hard, especially in the pharmacy. It was hard. I went on interviews, but I just wasn't selected, you know. I just wasn't selected, and let's just leave that there. I don't know why I'm laughing, but let's just leave that there, because it was a really mentally taxing thing, to be refused from a job, especially, But yeah, so if you're here, or if you're planning to come here, um, the job market is really weird, and it's a lot of trial and errors, and but there are agencies that will help you to put your resumes together and even help you to find a job, but it might not be the job that you want. But you have to have an end goal, because like with me, I know that like the full stop for me wasn't like to just get any job. I know that, my thing is to get back into my professional space, and so it would have taken hard work, and that is something that I will share in future videos, because that in itself is another journey and another era in which God has helped me. And so yeah, the job market wasn't the best at the time. The weather, especially if you're coming from a tropical place, you have to adjust. It gets cold, and it's even worse based on where you choose to settle. But you know, there are clothes that you can buy and put on to keep yourself warm. So let me just say that you can navigate that, with the right dress code. You can. So that is that. As it relates to yeah, the weather. Another plus though, being here, and like I had said initially, this is just basic information of me, my migration story. Building a network, it's vital that you put yourself out there, especially here, being here in Canada. People say, oh, I'm shy, or I'm an introvert, or honestly, I'm coming from that place of being very introverted and just being cloaked in, and staying in my lane type of thing. But you're in a new country, and there's nothing to be afraid of, really. Spread your wings and fly. Talk to people. LinkedIn is like a big platform that you can just go and you post about whatever, and eventually you will get your foot in, and you will try. Initially it will be scary, but I think having a network here is really good. It is really good, because like, let me just give you a backstory on like my first job that I got. Like, I didn't like it, to be honest. I didn't like it. And but then I had to move from the place that I was living. And so when I had moved now to another city, I landed another interview in a pharmacy setting. And mind you, that would have been like the job that I had would have been like my first Canadian experience. And so when I went in for the interview, the employer was like, he really liked, the conversation that we were having, and he was open to giving me a part-time job. However, he wanted a Canadian reference, and lo and behold, the place that I had worked first, the lady before I left, she said that she would have been a reference. She would have stand in the gap as a reference for me. So that goes to show you that sometimes we feel like, we don't want something, and we fight against it, but God knows what he is doing. He's the greatest orchestrator. And sometimes we just have to lean into like how the discomfort of whatever it is. We have to just lean into it and really just trust in the Lord with all of our hearts, and lean not onto our own understanding, right? And so yeah, having a network is really vital here in Canada. Even with just somebody to stand it as reference for you to say that yes, I've worked with this person, and this person has good work ethic, or whatever it is that they're going to tell the employer, your future employer, about you, right? Overall, like, this journey has been teaching me patience and how to just be graceful, or to give grace to myself, right? And also to be kind to others, because when you look at it, you will find people bashing certain immigration groups, or certain, not immigration groups, certain racial groups. And you have to understand that, persons are here trying to make it just like you. And yes, people might not be the nicest, or people might not be, the moral standards might be different from what you know, or whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, like, it is love, and we should all be walking in love. So be patient with yourself, and be patient with others. And so to sum up this basic video, like I said initially, it's a basic video. To sum up this basic video, the encouraging message for today is that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and you don't have to have it all figured out to know what your next step is going to be. But in order to get that direction as to what the next step is going to be, you have to lean in to God and have Him guide you and have Him show you what you should do, and the next step that you should take, because essentially you don't want to step out of line. And sometimes He might tell you to take a step and it is out of alignment of what you were expecting or what you wanted to do. And with doing that, with stepping how He says to step, it might be uncomfortable, it might be chaotic, but all in all, He's a God that starts and finishes things. And so it is my prayer that, whatever it is that you're navigating now, that, you will have the belief, not only in yourself, but in God, that He will carry you through. Thank you for sticking it through with me, and, see you in the next video. I know.